Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
Next we have is keywords. Keywords are basically pre-dependent desired keywords, reserved words, that has a meaning associated with it. Whenever we use a valid keyword, Marketing Cloud knows what needs to be done. We need to, create some memory, or we need to allocate some memory blocks to this meeting. Now we'll use the set keyword. It means Marketing Cloud knows whenever a set keyword is there, it means I need to set something. I need to assign a value to a variable, right? If I'll use, let's say, ABCD instead of set, Marketing Cloud doesn't know that what needs to be done. Because in a dictionary, what we have a word and meaning. We have word and meaning, right? We can go to the word and we understand what is the meaning of this word. Similarly, in Marketing Cloud, whenever we are using this keyword, Marketing Cloud knows if the word is set. It means I need to assign somebody. But if I use any word which is not a keyword, right, which is not, it doesn't have a predefined meaning, what will happen? It will throw me the error that I don't understand that, what we are trying to say. I don't understand the meaning of the ABCD and it doesn't have a predefined meaning. Keywords basically are those words in Marketing Cloud which has a predefined meaning and in looking at which Marketing Cloud understand that what needs to be done. We have a list of keywords that we will explore as we move forward, down to the next 10 things. Next, we have a conditional statement. Many times what happens that in the entire program, we don't want to run the each and every line. But based on some condition, we want to execute, some line, and we don't want to execute the other part of the code. The example could be, let's say we have, data is stored in our data extension and we want to personalize the area. This could happen that somebody has the first name and somebody has got the first name, as it's not a mandatory fee. Now, when we want to personalize the email, we want to check whether we have the first name is stored in our Marketing Cloud extension or not. If the first name of the customer is the first name, the first name is the email. Let's say, hi, I will order in a hi customer name. And if the customer name is not stored in my data extension, then what I need to do? I need to do the generic rating. Let's say, dear customer, or something like that. How do I do that? I have this condition that whether we have a customer name is stored or not. And based on that condition, what we want to print. Let's see the syntax and understand this. Let's understand the line number 3. Line number 3 is a telemeter, which will basically tell Marketing Cloud that from line number 4, the AMPscript code is starting. And it has to be created as an AMPscript code. Now line number 4, what we are doing? We are creating one variable called customer name. Let's go to the block. And what will happen? We will have one customer. This is the variable that will be created in the backend, or basically in RAM, whenever we will write this line. Now the next line is if this statement. If basically, is used to evaluate a condition that if this is true, then do this. If as using to evaluate a condition, we have to specify a condition. Condition basically is we are evaluating. We are writing the condition with the help of a function called empty. And here we are giving the first name. Now, whenever we are using any, if we want to fetch the data from a field, then we can just write the name of the field directly. And then the value will be written. When we will do the preview test and the data extension that we are using for the preview, it will look up to the data extension and will see whether we have this first name field or not. And it will basically pick up the value from the first name field and then it will populate over here. This empty function. What it does is that each and every function in Marketing Club takes some input, process that input, and give us the output. What we are passing? We are passing the first name of the customer. Let's say if we have a value, let's say Rahul, then what it will do. We are checking whether this first name is empty or not. If the value is there, Rahul, it will return false that the value is not empty. And if you do not have any value in the first name, then it will return true that whatever you have passed is empty only. Now, either we will get true or false. What will happen? If it returns true, then execute this line number 6. If it returns false, then execute line number 8. If it returns true, it means we do not have a value for the first name of the customer. Then, what we are going to do? We are going to execute line number 6. Now, in the line number 6, what we are doing? We are assigning a value to this variable called customer name. What we are going to assign? The value that we have is stored in the data. Extension is a valid. We will print. And we will have this value. Now we have to use this keyword code and which tells that now that if has ended, basically the conditional statement has ended. And now here we have basically terminated our AMPscript code. Now the line number 11, we are using the Indian AMPscript code. Print the content of this variable. Whatever we have stored in this variable, that will be distributed on our screen. Let's do that. Let's execute the code and see whether we are able to get the expected output or not. We are getting Navi right. The hacker right. Such whatever the first name that we have. Let's say, let me choose another data extension for the preview. Let's see if we are able to see in first Raj. We all have this value for the first node. But in case we do not have a value for the first node, let's do it with the last name. Because we do not have the last name value for some of the customer. Instead of the first name, what I'm going to write is the last name only. It says, if you do not have the last name value for the first name. It says, if you do not have a last name value, it will say, dear customer. Otherwise, it will say, Shankar and Kala. And Kala. And Kala. Right? Many times we are. Requirement is where we don't want to execute each and every line in our program. But based on a condition, we want to run some part of the code and we don't want to run the other part of the code. But here we have only no single condition that if this is true, then do this. If it is first, then do this. But sometimes we might have multiple conditions, right? In that case, what we are going to do? Let's say, if we talk about the marks of the student, that if you want to print the grade based on the range of the marks, that if the marks is between 40 to 50, print D as a grade. Let's say if the marks is between 50 to 70, we are going to print as C. Let's do this thing. Double percentage signs backwards, double percentage signs. And we are going to print as a grade based on the line. Let's say if the marks is equal to the marks. And if marks is equal to the marks. Let's say if the marks is greater than 40. And marks is less than 50. Then what we are going to do? We are going to set the value in this variable from rates. We are going to set the value in this variable from rates. We are going to set the value in this variable. Are going to limit the number. You are able for ramper as we build that entity. And if base is an example delta to 40 Nozick sign, you are correct is a degree, then we are going to say set grades that your grade is, let's say D. And if it is more than 60, then we are going to say 8. Let's look at this thing. If it is better than, let's say, 60 and less than 100, then we are going to say your grade is 8 and else. I mean, if none of the condition holds true, then we are going to print whatever is written in the else statement. We are going to say set at grades is equal to if, and then we are going to close the if statement with the help of the end if we want, and then we are going to print the rates. We are going to use this output every function, and here we are going to click on the add the rate, and let's have some value for the notes at. Marks is equals to, let's say, 45. It says your grade is C. Now let's say if the marks is 89, then it will say your grade is a, and if the marks is, let's say, very low, let's say 20, then it will say you have. In case when we have multiple conditions, we are going to use if else. If else. If you know, until we complete all the conditions, and then we are going to have the else group. And if none of the condition also, then we are going to execute what is written inside the else bound. Right now, if you have only two conditions, then we can be to if. And if you have only one condition, then we can be to if and if and if and if and if and if and if we have to sleep. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.